Thank you for 7 minutes of your time. I'm going to be speaking about why you should choose to have a single source for all of your digital content to enable you in your cross-channel marketing strategy. My name is Rasmus Puls. I am head of the Nordic market at House & Companies, where we specialize in automating workflow processes in terms of delivering digital content across channels. And every day we work along these brands to help them enable their cross-channel marketing strategy using digital asset management solutions. We're a global company, but represented locally as we have our head office in Odense in Denmark. We have a global distribution network of implementation partners that help our customers around the world. There's one thing I can tell you as to sort of sum up this presentation: you will lose control of your digital content. Maybe not today and maybe not tomorrow, but at some point you will lose control of the way manual processes have to support creation, distribution, converting, and search throughout all of your organization. So the way climate experts around the world say that it gets drier, it gets wetter, it gets warmer, and it gets colder, the same way we can see in digital that we will have more channels, more assets, we will have more types of formats and different types of devices that have to access it. Because number one, your digital content is your most valuable asset. But this content is created not only inside of your marketing department, but across your organization and outside of your organization. And therefore, having control of where it goes and which channels is essential. Number two, your customers expect to reach you across different channels. And therefore, it's essential for companies to be out of those channels. But when new channels arise, companies tend to build silos instead of enabling the customer across touch points. Number three, all these different types of devices that are made available to our consumers today means that we have to have new formats of video, audio, and imagery to always be accessible on demand where the end user needs it. And number four is that both internally as well as externally, different users need different access to different content at different times. And therefore it's essential that you have some sort of governance structure that can help you in the way that you present your digital content at the right time. So maybe your digital landscape looks a little bit something like this. It's definitely driven by tons of data. It's driven by many different platforms, many different channels. The thing is that in your buying process for your customer, 60 to 80% of this buying process happens in this landscape before even reaching out to you. So what impression are you going to make in that digital landscape? Because video is an accelerator, especially when we look into B2B as well as B2C. And it's said that 70% of B2B buyers watch a video in the process of buying a product. This goldfish here has an attention span of about 9 seconds. And that's not a long time. But the thing is, the Generation Z, which is the 13 to 18-year-olds, and most of our kids today have an attention span of only 8 seconds. So in 8 seconds, how are you going to make yourself sexy to them? The thing is, they can be buying the Generation Z in B2C, but in only 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they're also going to be making decisions based on B2B buying behavior. It's, according to Google and Millward Brown, 46% of decision makers in the B2B are 18 to 34 years old. This is the reason why you need a single repository, so a single place where all your digital content is stored, where it's being handled, where you can control inbounds and outbounds, which channels your digital content is being presented on, and to whom and what they can do with it. So search is also very important when everything is stored centrally, and it's said that 71% of all users, when trying to find digital content, search a corporate server. And since more than 60% send an email out and 35% also call a colleague, you could say that there's a reason to optimize this in some way. So therefore you need a strong engine to support your digital strategy, and this engine we call digital asset management. So what is digital asset management and how do we go about it? Well, for one, I can say that for most of our customers, it's definitely not a one-touch discipline. So you cannot just say we want to do digital asset management and buy a system, then everything goes fine. So what we try and tell our customers is to find out what is your driver, what is the thing that is going to make this a good process. And for most customers, we can say that it's either video, e-commerce, social, that drives digital asset management, but one common factor is that it's cross-channel marketing enabled. So you can choose to just stand back, look at your watch, wait for a while, see what happens, because things are going fine as they are now. But the problem is you might end up finding out that the race has already started and digital content is playing on the winning side. So sit back and wait if that's what you think, but my point to hold this whole presentation is that you might end up like this taxi driver here. This is from a flood we had in Copenhagen on the 1st of July 2009. Luckily I was away on holiday, but a lot of rain came and this place on the freeway just on the entrance to Copenhagen was flooded so badly that cars were almost drowning. This Mercedes here, this taxi driver, took his 1 million kroner expensive Mercedes and drove straight in the water, knowingly that he could be taken out of business for a long while, but he did so even though, because he was unprepared. So think about it and take your first step of digital asset management today. Thank you.